MD Prepper here, giving you a tabletop review of the Waffen Werks AK74 rifle, chambered in 5.45 by 39. This is the first AK74 rifle I've ever owned, and I have to say this is by far my favorite AK that I've ever laid hands on or fired. Shot the heck out of this. Absolutely love the rifle. Fantastic. I'll be doing a comparison video of this versus standard AK and an AR-15 at some point. But I'm just going to talk about this rifle here to start with. Had a buddy show up not long before I purchased this with a Waffen Werks AK74. I said, why'd you get a 74? Why didn't you get a 47? He said, wait till you fire it. We took it to the range, fired it, and fell in love instantly. Knew I had to get one. These are made on Bulgarian parts, which are some of the finest AK-74s out there overall, with a US-made receiver from Waffen Werks out of Knoxville, Tennessee. So if you want to support manufacturers and assemblers here in the South, you're good to go. All the parts and pieces on this are matching Bulgarian. The finish on this is superb, far better than any other AK I've ever laid hands on, the Yugos, etc. This is right up there with an Arsenal. I've got a buddy not too far away who's got an Arsenal AK, and this is just as good, if not a little bit better. Takes all the standard parts and pieces for the most part of your standard AK, including the trigger group. This does come with a Tapco G2 trigger group. You safety sallies, it is indeed unloaded. The trigger is excellent. I'd say it's even better than your standard AK-47 with a Tapco G2 in it. The safety switch is very easy to manipulate, much easier and slicker than a 47, at least the ones I've ever handled. I can easily slip this on and off without taking my hands off the pistol grip, which is a notable improvement. A lot of the parts and pieces of this switch out with your standard AK. It has the excellent muzzle brake of the AK-74 up here. Standard sights on it, adjustable by your standard sight tool. Otherwise it looks pretty much the same, except your gas block up here is 90 degree versus 45. Difference between the 74 and the 47. Rear sights are the same. Dust cover looks about the same, etc. Takes the same pistol grip, etc. You can generally differentiate 74 models by this weight reducing cutout here on the stocks. You'll see this in polymer stocks as well. My understanding is they will switch out between 47s and 74s, but this is apparently generally standard for the 74. This rifle does have the storage compartment here for the cleaning kit. It did not come with a cleaning kit, but I did buy one and put it in here. Standard mags are 30 rounds, just like every other standard AK out there. Very easy to take on and take off. You don't have near as much selection of AK mags for the 74 as you do for the 47, but you still got some decent selection overall. One thing I have to say I love about this rifle is how light the recoil is. This is almost like firing a 22. This is much, much easier to shoot and train on than an AR-15, and I'll go into that in more detail later. But the perceived recoil or felt recoil on this is about half of your standard AR-15 or 5.56 round. Amazingly easy to shoot. I've taught a lot of people to start firing semi-auto rifles with this after I trained them on a 22. They were intimidated by this one, fired it and went, wow, that's not bad at all. Easily to fire, easy handleable by anybody at all. Rugged, reliable, dependency of an AK just like the rest of them. Never had a failure to fire or anything else with this. All the ammo that is available is steel cased. I don't think that's a big deal. I will talk about that in future videos about prepping and reloadable ammo and why that's not such a wonderful thing necessarily. Overall, the round is much more similar to the standard 5.56 round. Smaller diameter, lighter weight, depends on yaw and pitch. Let me show this versus an AK-762 by 39. Obvious difference there. I'll go into this in other videos. And here it is versus a 5.56 round. Very similar overall, but still different. You can get military surplus ammo from Russia that is now banned, but still available with some steel core that's technically, supposedly armor piercing. I don't know if I buy that. Like I said, this is a Waffen Werks. I got it from Classic Firearms. Got a deal on it, package deal, that covered and carried a bunch of extra gear. The basic rifle is a little different on the stain. Most of them have what's called a grade A or grade B finish. The grade A, which my friend had, very pretty finish. Very nice. You can see the wood grain on the stocks. Very well polished and lacquered, etc. Very nice. Costs a little extra. They have a grade B, which is unfinished wooden stocks. They're rough as a cob, but you can finish them yourself. I went for the middle option, which is the red stain, which is apparently more proper for communist bloc countries. Opted for it because it was different. You cannot see the wood at all in the stain, if you can see that right there, but it does give it that kind of cool red kind of purple look to it, if you see that right there, and it matches the mags if you go with that color. Now, if I had to do over again, I would probably not order the red stain. I would either go for the slightly lower cost unfinished or the higher grade A gorgeous finish, because this stuff scratches really easy. Now, I'm not complaining. It's an AK. It's supposed to get scratched up. It's supposed to look beaten and battered. I have no problem with that. But this even came scratched up. There's a small scratch up here, which you can see has expanded. Again, there's a little back there, but this thing has not been through the woods or dinged up horrifically, anything like that. I've not taken this out in the woods and run over it, etc. with the truck or anything, but it's already starting to show wear after less than 300 rounds. Laying this on a plastic table, etc. Not laying it on the ground, anything like that. You can see some wear and tear on this end, hopefully, maybe, which was just from laying it on a plastic table that I've got out by the range. That's a lot of wear and tear on this finish. It's not terrible, it's not awful, but I might not get the red stain again. But whatever. Otherwise, it disassembles just like a normal AK. A lot of the parts and pieces will switch out. Got your standard cleaning rod, etc. Ammo and mags, accessories can be a little hard to find, but if you go online, it's not a big deal at all. Even during the ammo shortage, you can still find 5.45 by 39 ammo online available when you couldn't even find 7.62 by 39. You might argue you can't find this ammo in stores. Well, generally that's probably true. Academy Sports here in South Carolina does tend to carry the basic ammo. One thing I found interesting about the 7.6 or the 5.45 by 39 is that a lot of times they come in 30 round boxes, not 20 round boxes, which is nice. One box per mag. I just think that's a much better idea. So don't let the cost fool you. Make sure you take that into account, that you're getting more rounds. But if you order online, this stuff is just as cheap, if not cheaper, than 7.62 by 39. Perfectly good for self-defense, varmints, etc. Excellent for training. Again, I'll go into that later. I bought this from Classic Firearms for $6.99. The average rifle itself runs in the low 600s or so, but this came with a kit. It had 4 magazines that were Tapco, which worked fine. Also came with a rifle bag and a side mount UTG scope mount, which I don't think I'll ever use because I can't co-witness the sights with it, but I picked it up anyway. So $6.99 or $700, so it's less than 75 bucks for that whole little kit. I thought it was nice. I will give you other reviews on this in the future, but this thing is a tack driver, excellent accuracy, far better than a 7.62 by 39, quicker follow-up on shots. Absolutely love this rifle. I'll be doing other reviews regarding this rifle and related to this, magazines, ammo, etc. in the future. But if you're looking to get into an AK-74 platform, I highly recommend it. If you've had any doubts, pick it up. You'll love it. The Waffen Werks is great. I fired a friend's Arsenal. This is just as nice, just as accurate, and a heck of a lot cheaper. Love the rifle. Hope you enjoyed the video. And again, if you're considering an AK, this might be the way to go. Indy Prepper out.